Hey y'all, so I'm back with another creepy story. Sorry I've been gone for so while. I've been on vacation, y'all, and still studying and working. So y'all, just trying to enjoy life while I can. Okay, so this story take place here in Montgomery. So one of my fathers reached out to me, so we're just gonna call her. She told me to call her Chantel. So Chantel said this took place while she was at work, and she said it was her and two other co-workers with her. So they work night shift on third shift. So she don't want me to tell where she work at, but she just want me to tell what happened. So she said that they was up front, her and her female coworker. But first she said it was just her. She said she was up front on the computer, and she said she was just looking, just looking for shop clothes and whatnot. And so where she said she was the front part of the buildings where the office was, and she said that she was at the front part of the building, and she said she left all the lights off and slept where the office was. And she said the other, up there in the office up front where she was, is other empty rooms where you can eat at, watch TV, hang out, whatever. So the other co-worker, the male co-worker, he was in the back of the building. And so she said that the female coworker came in the office and was asking, "Hey, what's going on? What you doing?" She said, "Nothing." She said, "Look at this." So they looking at clothes or whatnot. And so she said that all of a sudden they were just laughing and talking. Her coworker, Chantel, said she was just talking. And her coworker said, "What the hell is that?" So Chantel said, she said, "Stop." She said, "Listen." And she said, "You heard noise like," and Chantel's like, "Oh, that's just the air coming through it's an old building, just probably air finding a way through a crack or something." And she said, her co-worker's like, "I don't think so." So she said, "Listen." So she said she listened again. She said all of a sudden that noise started turning to a whistling. And Chantel said, "Girl, scared the crap out of me and her." She said the whistling, it started whistling like an old, she said it reminded her of an old 60s, like a TV show, like, it was like a sailor. You remember like Popeye and Olive Oyl, they be on the docks or whatever. She said, but you can hear like whistling. She said it reminded her of like a sailor whistling. And she said, it didn't stop at last. She said, "Girl, it was so crazy. We sat there stuck." She said we was too shook to move. We just sat there. She said it didn't last for 10 seconds. It lasted for, she said, felt like 30 seconds. At 30 to 40 seconds, she said they just sat there and listening and listening. And she said felt like it sounded like it was getting closer to where they was. Chantel said the female co-worker still sitting there just like stuck listening. Chantel said she shut that damn computer down. And she said when the other female turned around, she said she was running the opposite way. Co-worker's like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait for me." She said, "Shit, you better come on. You want to see him listen to that? I ain't trying to listen to it." So, but she said, Chantel said it was so crazy that she have other incidents like at that job. She said it's so crazy because several people died at that job. And so she said she wasn't the only one. Other co-workers said they experienced some crazy stuff at that job. And she was like, "Man, I just no." She said, I was like, "Well, what else have you experienced?" She said she saw like dark shadows walk by, and she was like, "What the hell?" And other people's like, "You seen that shit?" She's like, "Hell yeah, I seen that." So she said, so they just tried to ignore it, hopefully, She said so far ain't never hurt nobody. They just like still walk past there, or I don't know, make noise, just make themselves known. But anyway, so that was Chantel's story. So see y'all later.